bangs. Podcast for all of your MoCo football news and notes. We're brought to you by MoCoFootball.com, The Shoot Fashion, Kingdom Yards Productions. Got a great show for you today. We have Moses Vines stopping by. We got the great Maddie Callahan calling in. That was a pleasure to talk to him. Good friend of mine. Another good friend of mine, Mr. Matt Miller Light on the MoCo football boards. Very knowledgeable person about Montgomery County sports in general. You know, he'll be stopping by, gives a lot of great insight. This week, you got the Sherwood QO game. You got Northwest Blake. You know, we all know that Blake beat Northwest last year, so that's going to be a great game. You got Einstein, Seneca Valley. That's going to be a really good game. First and foremost, you know, we got to start with QO, you know, because that is the top team in the county. You really look at their team this season. While they do have weaknesses, they're losing Mark Green, obviously. Great running back, all-time great running back for them last year. You just can't deny what they have on defense right now. They probably have the best defense, public school-wise, in the state. Yeah, people will say, you know, remember the championship game, remember how the secondary looked. I understand that. But they're returning all those guys. You gotta believe Coach Matt got those guys ready. I think that Sherwood QO game is gonna be huge. Sherwood's got a great team. I believe if their quarterback situation gets sorted out, I think Sherwood could be a tough out for anybody. You know, obviously they got, you know, Fitz Mofor, who's ranked in the top 100 players in the state. Richie DePietro, great safety. Moses Vines, a young kid named Elijah Spotswood that everybody should be looking out for. Overall, I just think that it's going to be a really good game. I don't know who's going to win. It's going to be hard hitting. Both teams got really good defenses. Both teams got elite linebackers. That's going to be a storyline to watch, man. You know, you got Fitz Mofor versus Marcus Newby, two elite linebackers in this county, going up against one another. That's really great theater to watch. I'm looking forward to that game. You obviously got Damascus. Damascus is going to be, in my opinion, one of, if not the favorite to win the 3A this year. I mean, you look at the talent that's on that team. Coach Wallach is doing a great job with getting those kids into college. I commend them for that, to stick their necks out for those kids and get them into college. So I gotta tip my hat to him for that. We're hearing that Brandon Phelps, you know, he played at Damascus a few years ago. He's playing at Virginia, getting some starting time. Joel Ross is getting some starting time from Damascus, from the same team. Connor Frazier is doing very well with Towson. Kyle Frazier's older brother was a great player at Monmouth. So, I mean, all these kids are doing really, really well. I'm sure I'm forgetting some kids. If I am forgetting anybody, forgive me. You know, you guys can tweet me again at Kev_50. You know, if I forgot anybody, please let me know. I'll make sure I shout them out next show. But Damascus with Zach Bradshaw, I mean, this kid is special. You know, he decommitted a few weeks back and decided to go to Virginia, which I think was, you know, a very good move. And I think they really looked at this situation. I think that Virginia was a really good situation. Me as a Virginia Tech fan, though, I wasn't too happy about that side of it, but I think it was the right decision for him. We're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna come back with Moses Vines from Sherwood High School. Again, he's the starting running back right now at Sherwood High School. And he's going to give his, thoughts and, his thoughts on the game, everything that's been going on with Sherwood lately. We got more guests coming up, like I mentioned. Maddie Callahan is going to be, on, and Matt Miller Light himself from MoCo Football is going to be on, so stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Game on Friday, man.
We've been working hard all week, strapping up, hitting hard, running hard, getting running the plays and everything. So I think we should be ready for them. It'd be a good game.
Right. How was camp, man? Y'all get through injury-free?
We had a couple injuries, slight injuries, but everybody's doing good. Everybody's going to be ready.
Okay.
Camp was great.
Okay.
Everything was supposed to get in, got it all.
Obviously, Fernando's gone. You're the starting running back. You're the main dude. What was your approach during the off-season to get yourself ready for all the contact, the more carries, everything like that you're going to be taking, and the more of the load that you're going to be taking this season?
Well, this summer, I've just been working hard, just grinding it out every other day, working out at my speed, agility, strength. It's just been all straight grind from the summer on, knowing that I'm going to have to do something to help this team get to where we want to get.
Last season wasn't necessarily what you wanted it to be. What are you guys doing differently as an organization? And what are you guys doing differently individually to make sure that 6-4 doesn't happen again?
Well, everybody's just coming together as a team. Everybody's trying to mesh together and not try to be that individual. Everybody's not looking out for themselves, but trying to look out for the team more and just try to be a team player. And everybody's been trying to lose the selfish attitude and just try their hardest to do what's good for the team and the organization.
The QO game specifically, man, how long have you been waiting for this, man? I mean, you got Newbie over there. You got a great team that was in M&T. What's your mindset going to that game?
I just have to do whatever I have to do to get that W. I know they're good players and all, but we got to come out hitting hard and just trying to do everything, just be one step in front of them and just go ahead and smash them in the mouth and do what we got to do to get that W.
So, I mean, are you intimidated at all, man? Don't lie to me. You don't have to lie. You don't have to lie. You intimidated by Newbie a little bit, man?
No, man, I'm not. He's a great player and all, but I can't be. I'm not scared of anybody. He's a great player and all. He can hit hard, but I'm gonna give him what I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna hit him too. He hits me, I'm gonna hit him back.
Right.
That's how we play. That's what football is.
Right. Man, you guys got a tough schedule this year, man. How hard is it not to look forward to the other games like Damascus, Northwest, those games like that, Paint Branch, and just focus on one game at a time? I know this week is going to be easy for you guys because you guys got QO, so it's easy to focus on this week. But, next week, the following weeks, how hard is it going to be to focus on 1 week at a time when you got 6 teams from the top 8 in Montgomery County this season? How hard is it not to look forward to those games?
It's pretty hard because you're just worried about your whole season as an individual sometimes, just what you want to do in the future, but you got to take it one step at a time.
Right.
So really, I'm just going. It's real hard because we saw a tape against QO versus Damascus today, and it was hard trying to just look at QO because both of them are good teams. You want to be ahead of both of them, so it's pretty hard, but you got to do it. You got to stay focused. Yeah,
man. I mean, hopefully we can see y'all, on Friday. It's going to be a big atmosphere. A lot of people are going to be at that game. So, just talk about your guys, Coach Oswald is back. Just talk about the overall philosophy, for people that are not aware or people that are not familiar with Sherwood overall. Just talk about, your philosophy when it comes on to just running the ball and, controlling the game on the ground and everything like that.
It's just hit them hard shots. The philosophy is like, you don't need big plays. Just 4 yards, and then anything after that is bonus because you can walk down the field on anybody. You can walk down the field, but if it doesn't work, the run doesn't work, the pass opens up and that creates everything else.
Right.
So the running is the basis for pointers and just helping us a lot with all this new stuff he's bringing.
Right.
All his experience. So we're learning a lot. We got a lot of new stuff in from last year. There's a lot of stuff, but we should be able to make it work.
Right. You talked about the passing game. We all know that Jordan struggled a little bit last season. You know, how's he looked in camp, scrimmages, everything like that? How's he looked? And are you more confident this season that he's going to be getting the job done?
Jordan looked great. He looks like he worked hard this summer. His ball, the way he's throwing the ball is coming out stronger. He's getting more off behind the ball. And it's like his vision of the field has become better. So I feel great with him back there. I think he's going to do a lot better with the throwing aspect. And you know, he got a little faster and bigger, so running also. So I think he's going to do pretty well this year. I have faith in him that he's going to do everything right to get the job done.
All right, man. Thanks for stopping by again, man, and I look forward to talking to you soon, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we got Maddie Callahan, the great Northwest quarterback, on the other side. Maddie Callahan, TG1 for the Northwest Jazz. So how was camp? How was everything going? How's the team looking? And just talk about the process going through 2 days and everything like that.
Well, 2 days were a whole lot different from what I've experienced in the past. Definitely a little bit softer these days. You know, the 1 hour walkthrough practice and everything. It's definitely a setback for a lot of teams, but for us, it actually wasn't as much of a setback because all our starters are coming back, and so we hit the ground running.
Right.
And camp went really well. Pretty much had the whole offense in by day one, so when we went out scrimmaging, and everything was pretty sharp and crisp. So we're ready for week one to come here in a couple of days.
Okay. You've been starting at Northwest for a long time, I believe since your sophomore year. And you went through different coaches, you went through, young teams, different personnel around you every single year. This year's going to be different. You're going to have experienced coaching staff. Just talk about that. Just talk about the comfort level you have going into this season.
Well, definitely coming back with the same coaching staff for the first time is quite a good feeling because my offensive coordinator is pretty much, he's like the main guy for me. And now that last year was even the first year for me and him connecting. So, I mean, if you can imagine, last year was a little rusty. Me and him on the same page, things could get dangerous quick. So, I mean, coming back with the starters again, it's great. Our team's no longer young. Pretty much all of us across the board are veterans, and all of us have started varsity at least 1 year. So, I mean, I'm really excited, even with the young juniors and sophomores we have. We definitely have weapons across the board. So, I mean, it's all, like, my veteran receivers are really where it's going to be because all the timing, we can do stuff that we couldn't do last year, throwing routes that we couldn't have thrown last year, not being on the same page.
Right. I've seen you personally in the off season, in the weight room, in the classroom, studying your game. Just talk about what you do individually to get yourself ready for the season.
Well, outside of just doing track and lifting weights, I also work out with John McBrien, and I was fortunate enough to work out with Danny O'Brien a couple times before he went out to Wisconsin. And I also started working out with 360 Fit, which is with a lot of the counties of elite, like Fernando over at Sherwood, Stephon Diggs, who was playing in Maryland. My friend Byron, who goes to our school, doing that,
right.
And that was in the morning. And then later that day, I would end up going to football workouts as well. So pretty much my 2 days started before camp even started.
Right. So talk about your weapons this year, man. I honestly believe that there's 4 kids on your team that if they left the team and went to 90% of the MoCo teams out there, they will be #1 wide receivers. I honestly believe
Oh
that.
yeah, that's true.
You know,
I mean, even as look, we have a sophomore that would probably start at most schools. We have
right.
all of our senior receivers could earn playing time at any school. We have
Hmm.
an abundance of weapons. It's almost like it's it's almost like which weapon do I throw to? You know?
Right. So you got Blake the first game of the season. They got you guys last year. What's your mindset going to this game to make sure that it doesn't happen this coming season? And how do you not look forward to, the King's Trophy, Seneca Valley?
I agree that one game mentality is I would say is what we left out last year. I think Seneca being so close is definitely a bit of a distraction. I mean, it is week 2. But I think the real motivation is that we let that get away from us last year and not cost us the play game, which could have very well, we had won that, could have given us the playoff berth. So that's a real tough feeling down inside. And really, Blake is really one we're trying to get back just because of
Right.
it was just week 1, and that pretty much, if we had won that could have kicked off our whole season, and you never know what could have happened.
Right. We all know that QO right now is that team, and I know you're looking at that. Talk about just your mindset and your team's mindset and your coaching staff's mindset of going for that #1 spot and doing all that and going for a state championship.
Well, to be honest, we are definitely shooting for the highest goal. I mean, this is going to be a solid year for our program. We're finally back on track. We got a great staff, and what really hurt us, I would love to talk about all that, Kevin, but we need to get there first. We had talent across the board. I think we can compete with anybody. Our talent is amazing, but we need to take that to a new level because we are a 5-5 team as of now, and we need to prove to everybody that we are better than a 5-5 team. We're not just an average team; we're a great team, and we need to aim for a high playoff seed, that #1 seed. We need to get that so we can prove everybody.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, the last question is about your O-line. Talk about your confidence in your O-line right now and how they've grown throughout the preseason camp and where they're at right now.
I'm really confident with the group of guys I got in front of me. I got my senior Roger Cooley at center, and he's been behind me since sophomore year when I started. So he's brand new brother to me all years on varsity. And my tackles are pretty big guys, and I'm pretty confident that they're going to be able to keep those guys away. And my guards, I mean, we got 2 returning guards, so we got pretty big guards. And, I mean, you can send everybody at us, but we got an elusive quarterback in the pocket, and we got a great line. So we're going to be able to hold some of these guys.
That's great, man. Hey, that's Maddie Callahan. And thanks for stopping by, man.
No problem. Thanks a lot, Kevin.
Great conversation with Maddie. When we come back, we're going to come back with Matt Miller and close out the show. Thank you for being here. Matt Miller with me, Mr. MoCo football himself. Miller Light 8389 is the guy with all the knowledge. Matt, the rankings came out top 8. QO up #1. You got Damascus #2, Seneca Valley #3, Sherwood is number 4, Northwest #5, Paint Branch #6, Churchill #7, Gatesburg #8. I know there's probably not much conversation for #1 and #2, but do you think that, 3 through maybe 6, Paint Branch, Seneca Valley, Northwest, and Sherwood, Do you think there could be any like movement? Are you happy with those 3 teams and where they're placed on the top 8 right now?
Yeah, I am. I had my top 8 was very similar to that. I had 1 and 2, of course, unfortunately, because they're right behind my Seneca Valley and Sherwood.
Right.
And I just think Seneca Valley brings back James Williams is one of the top running backs in the county.
Right.
A workhorse for Seneca Valley this year, and I expect Coach Kim to just hand him the ball 20 to 30 times a game and let him do his work.
Right.
He's got a pretty good defense. I saw them this past weekend, or last Friday actually.
Right.
In the scrimmage, and their defense it bent at times, but it didn't break, and I expect good things out of them. I said Sherwood has returning some good players, and they lost the running back, what's his name, Fernando Smith.
Fernando, yeah.
But I think the second year with the new coaching staff and the players they have back, I expect them to do much better this year and hopefully get back into the playoffs.
Right.
I'm pretty happy with the top 8. I did have Clarksburg in there. I just think with their running back core that they'll be able to surprise some people and win some games that they probably shouldn't. I don't know if this is the year that they'll get over the hump.
Right.
Get into the playoffs, but I think they'll be better than expected.
So you like them over Gaithersburg then for the 8 spot?
Yeah, I have them over Gaithersburg. I think Gaithersburg lost. They lost Billy Brown and Simba last year, who were arguably 2 of the best players in the entire county.
Right.
And Billy Brown might have been the most diverse and best all-around player in the county.
Right.
Both of them are gone. There's not much back. Solomon Ball's good.
Right.
I think he'll be a premier back in the county. He could even lead the county in the rushing, but they squeaked into the playoffs last year. They weren't a great team, and with the losses that they've had, from graduation, I can't see them getting much better than what they were last year.
I agree. The thing about Gaithersburg for me is, the talent is young. You got that kid, Carter. I don't know his first name, but the kid apparently has a few offers already. Pretty big kid too. But you're absolutely right. They lost a lot. They probably lost 2 of the top 3. Of course, you probably put Bradshaw in that top 3, but in my opinion, Gaithersburg had the 2 out of the top 3 wide receivers last season.
Oh, I was just saying, with Simba and Billy Brown last year, they were 2 of the better wide receivers in the county, and they had a quarterback with talent level of like a Maddie Callahan from Northwest. He was probably each caught 1,000 to 1,500 yards and 10 plus touchdowns.
Right. Yeah, I believe that, in my opinion, I think that Churchill and Northwest are the 2 teams I'm looking at to possibly enter into the top 5, and if not, probably in the top 3. And the reason why I say that is because, when you got a talent like Blake Dove on your team, you never know. The kid's also going to be running the rock. Of course, they lost Sickles. That's going to hurt them, but when you play Sickles with Dove, that's a pretty good trade-off right there. I understand they lost a lot, but they're returning probably the best offense. Not probably, he is the best offensive lineman in the county, and Darren Lockey. So I'm really high on them, man. I think that they could probably surprise some people again this season. And I look at Paint Branch, I look at Northwest, and Northwest, you just mentioned Maddie Callahan. I'm a big fan of Matty. I think he's a terrific quarterback. And, with the weapons that they have, man, I think that they could easily be in the top 3 when it's all said and done. And Paint Branch, they got 2 kids on the outside, and Thomas Lucas and Andrew Martin could be compared to Simba and Billy Brown from last season. I think that, if you're going to look for a pair like Billy Brown and Simba from last season, I think it would be those 2. Obviously they have quarterback issues. I want to call them quarterback questions. They're losing their top 2 running backs, so obviously you can't put them up high right now. But I think as time goes on and the young kids get more experience, I think that they're going to get up there, possibly into either the top 3 or the top 5.
That's right. I mean, I completely agree with pretty much everything you're saying. I think going back to Churchill, I mean, they're going to Dub plays both ways. Last year he was a phenom on defense as a 14-year-old freshman.
Right.
Linebacker for Seneca Valley. And you could tell right away he was a great talent. This year, a year more mature, a year stronger, he'll be even better. I just question him playing both ways for Churchill, whether or not he's running the ball and playing linebacker. The toll that'll take on his body on the season.
Right.
Also, Coach Allen, I think he's a pretty good coach, but he hasn't had a track record of success. It'll be interesting after Churchill lost perhaps what was their best senior class in quite some time. See if they can regroup and see if the success continues this year.
Right.
Going back to Northwest, I've always been a believer in smash mouth football when it comes to winning state championships, especially in cold months,
right?
November and December, we've got to run the ball and play defense. Teams have shown success like around the county, a run spread, and they've had success in the past. But Northwest, they have a high octane passing offense, but it's still yet to be seen whether they're going to be able to run the ball when it gets cold, and if they're going to be able to stop teams when they need a big stop. So,
right.
Those are some question marks I have with them. I think they're talented. They probably have the most talented quarterback in the county, and probably one of the most talented public school quarterbacks in the state. So it'll be interesting to see with them. Paint Branch, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about them, but like I said, I saw them in the scrimmage against Seneca. They're big and they're fast. Coach Naismith always gets the most out of his players. So
right.
Team kind of,
Great coach.
Similar to a Clarksburg right now, who has all the talent, but
right.
haven't been able to get over that hump and make it into the playoffs, or even if they do make it into the playoffs, they just they can't beat those elite teams. So
right.
Maybe that'll change this year.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with you with the fact that when it gets colder, especially, you're gonna have to run the football to win. And of course, Northwest getting that new field is gonna help them out a lot.
Field advantage, I think. I think Northwest played on that field better than most teams do have.
Right, exactly. With the spread offense, they're gonna be running into, hopefully, if Maddie Callahan does what I think he's gonna do, and with the weapons outside, they're probably running into 5-man boxes. And as you know, that's man-on-man blocking. That should make it a little bit easier for them to run the ball. If they can get the O-line straight and everything like that, that's a question for them. But if they can get that straight, they're running into 5-6-man boxes. That will really help them out. As for Clarksburg, can you just expand upon the running back situation, why you hire on them, and the running back situation over there and the talent that's over there?
Right, yeah. 2 years ago they had sophomores, Jalen Little and Niam Reed, and they both, as sophomores, put up big numbers. I want to say it was close to like 2,000 yards rushing and a bunch of touchdowns as sophomores. So I believe both of them missed last year. And they should be back this year as seniors.
Right.
And I can only imagine that they put on weight, gotten quicker, and are ready to, hopefully lead the Coyotes to a playoff berth.
Right.
If they're both back, or if one of them are back, Clarksburg is definitely better off than they were last year.
Right. They haven't had the same kind of success since they moved up in the ranks. But I think that, Coach Hurd, he's a great coach. Coach Hampton's over there. And he's obviously a great coach. I played for him. Fantastic coach. And I think that they're going to turn it around this season.
That's still to be seen. I think week one will tell a lot about the Clarksburg Coyotes. If they're able to, beat Damascus, and that rivalry will just get even bigger than it is now. And the Coyotes will earn some respect across the county that they've been dying to receive.
You're right. That's going to be an interesting game. Talking about games, the QO Sherwood game. Obviously, that's the marquee game. Just talk about that.
I'm heading out to.
Okay. Yeah.
That's going 108.
Right. Man, 108 is going to be terrible. Gilman and Good Counsel are playing the same night. One away is going to be terrible. I suggest everybody get out early, please.
Yeah, leave work at 4:30.
Right. You know, what do you think about that game? How do you think that game's going to go? And specifically, QO is breaking in a new quarterback, bringing in a new running back. How do you think their offense is going to look coming out the gate? Obviously, they're going to get better. You know, Coach Mack is a great coach. He's going to get that thing straight. But how do you think they're going to look straight out of the bat? And do you think because of, you know, maybe the lack of experience at the quarterback position, the Warriors may have a better shot at winning the game? Or do you think it really doesn't matter because of the front seven, which I think is the best front seven public school-wise in the state, you know, with obviously with Newby, Gregory. They got two big boys in the middle, man, and St. Regis, Williams. With those guys, do you think that the offense is going to be enough of a hindrance to prevent them from getting that W?
You know, I think going back to what you're saying about Consortium defense, I think, and I've stated it before, that I truly believe if they've fixed their secondary issues that they had in the state championship game last year, which I think they have. I think they were young there, and those kids are a year older and a year better.
Right.
For the most part. And I truly believe that this Consortium defense could be one of the best in the county that, you know, in the last, say, 10 to 20 years.
Really?
Balances are loaded, you know, and pretty much the front seven's absolutely loaded, and like you said, the best probably in the state.
Right.
So, you know, it'll be interesting. The game, if Sherwood's offense looks the same as it looked last year when I saw them 2 or 3 times, they might have trouble scoring points. I mean, anybody can have trouble scoring points against Clinton.
Yeah, you're right.
You got to bring their A game and limit their turnovers. You know, you can't give Clinton Orchard breaking in a new quarterback, yes, but they've got Tyrell Williams in the backfield, and he's a bruising runner. He'll run over you or he'll run by you. He doesn't care.
Yeah, and he can catch the ball too. Yeah.
He showed that a lot last year, catching screen passes, taking them for big games. And, he's a big back, but he's shifty as well.
Yep.
And behind that Clinton Orchard offensive line, that, you know, which is always big. And,
always big, right?
You know, he can put up some good numbers.
Yeah.
You know, I think everybody knows Clinton Orchard's the favorite, but you know, Sherwood is Sherwood, and they're at home, and you can never count them out.
Yeah, I mean, the home team has never lost in that series. So, I mean, that's one thing going for the Warriors. Is there any other games? I know the Seneca Valley Einstein game is a game that I'm intrigued by. Einstein obviously came on strong last season. You know, they really showed us that they're not a team to be taken lightly. And Seneca Valley obviously lost their starting quarterback, but like you pointed out, they're returning one of the better running backs, if not the best running back, coming back. So, you know, are you as intrigued as I am about that game? How do you see that game going? Other games that you're kind of intrigued by this weekend?
You know, besides the rivalry game, between Damascus and Clarksburg, and then of course the Orchard and Sherwood game, which we just touched on. The Seneca Valley Einstein game is intriguing. You know, last year Einstein played a bunch of teams tough. They played Damascus tough. They played Seneca tough. You know, they were in a lot of games. They're, you know, Coach Al is in his second or third year now, and he's really turning around that program, which is good for the down county teams. They need to go in there and figure it out. Like I've said, there's talent, in locker rooms, down county. They just have to be motivated to be put on the field. I mean, if you look back to that, like the 2006, 2007 Kennedy team. You know, those teams were, you know, they weren't absolutely loaded, but they had 5 to 10 really, really good players that, you know, they just put them all together, and that those teams did well. And I think the same can happen to an Einstein. You know, I don't expect them to beat Seneca Valley, but I expect them to be good again this year and be a tough game for anyone.
Right. Just to illustrate what Matt is talking about for everybody, when he says that there's talent literally sitting in the hallways of the downtown consortium schools, and you may scoff at that, remember Melvin Harris, the great Melvin Harris that played at Kennedy those years that Matt was talking about. He didn't play his first 3 years at Kennedy. He didn't play his first
senior year.
Right. He didn't play his first 2 years at Kennedy. He was literally just going to school. He wasn't a part of the team at all. And Coach Twiner went in there and he fished him out, and obviously, history is made with the Kennedy Cavaliers. Obviously, Melvin was a Pop Warner superstar and everybody knew who he was, but that's just to illustrate what Matt's talking about, that there is talent literally sitting in the hallways at those schools. They just need to kind of fish them out and get them on the field.
And that can be said for every school across the county, every school across the state. Even the great programs like Seneca Valley and Damascus and Sherwood and Prince Orchard County, they have kids who don't come out to play football or aren't motivated for whatever reason.
Right.
Every school can be better, but it's definitely more of an issue in those down county schools.
Right, definitely. Well, all right, Matt. Thank you for stopping by, man. Thank you for calling in, and happy birthday. Matt's birthday is coming up. Definitely, I'm planning on attending the Sherwood game too, so hopefully I'll see you, and hopefully it's a great game, man.
Yeah, man. I'll see you on the sidelines representing MoCoFootball.com.
Yes, sir. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for being here. Make sure everybody gets out to the games on Friday. Be safe, and see you next week.